I always go through, listen to him, Stevie Wonder. I'm not a talk radio guy.
No.
So I listen to music.
Good.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
Makes you smarter.
It's kind of
by
like,
not
it's
being-
kind of like interviews. We can get just the same comments from last year's exhibition game, right? That's what.
Someone got it.
Yeah, it's a good fill.
That was brought up earlier.
You give us that same comment after every game, and we still
I want
listen to
to.
it. So, hey, just I guess what do you want to see in the Truman State game? What did you
Yeah.
see in the Cincinnati scrimmage, and I guess what's the first thing you want to see from your team here?
Yeah, from an offensive standpoint, we run a lot of stuff. So trying with new guys to get everything in and to run things, but then when another team is physical, it really gives you a good look. They were very physical. They fouled a lot. And so I thought that piece of it just adjusting to a really physical game. We made our free throws and did some good things. There's just a lot of stoppage. And, that was something from a defensive standpoint for us, we were trying not to foul. Obviously not getting into the bonus early, but when they're fouling so much, it's kind of funny how the refs seem to call it the other way too, even though the other team's not doing as much. So I thought our guys adjusted well. We made some mistakes, but I thought they worked really hard together. And so you just want to see in this game, you want to see improvement. You want to see guys out there just a little more comfortable. Obviously that game didn't have any fans, so that this will be a little bit different. When we scrimmaged the first time inter-squad, and then we added some fans, about 3,000-4,000 people, you could see the concentration wasn't as good. So you got to still be able to concentrate and do your job on both ends. And so that's what I'm looking for. We've played pretty hard. We just have to be more disciplined. We just got to keep working on staying connected and doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Does Truman do anything specifically, systematically that you think can challenge your team, or that you
Well,
want
they
to
shoot
play
a lot
them?
of threes, and obviously at that level, it's hard to get quality big guys, and they actually have a couple combo forwards that are good players. And but no, they spread you out. They're going to shoot a lot of threes, kind of mirroring themselves by playing Iowa. I know Iowa pushes the basketball and how quick they shoot the ball. So they got into a little bit of a track meet there, and Iowa obviously has some good personnel. But no, they kind of run some of the same action Cincinnati does. A little different, obviously different pieces, but they run some of the same action, a lot of ball screen motion.
Where did Trey get bulk of his points Saturday? Was it playing the 5 or the 4, or was it a combination?
He was with Caleb, but he posted up more. Yeah, and so Caleb's ability to stretch the defense. Caleb had a couple of his post-ups that just didn't go down for him. He missed the 3. And there it's tough, like when you get through those games about getting some opportunities. Trey just got more opportunities. He was on the glass. We got him deep, posting up. And it just kind of depends with their matchups and stuff. If they're together, like who that 4 is going to go on. And in that game, the 4 went on Trey. And so we just, we went to him, and he was very good on the block. Very good.
You talked about playing with fans, and during Big Tech Media Days, Mackey was voted the scariest place to play.
Right.
Normally you see that as a home court advantage. Are you concerned for your team's ability to play in their own home court with noise?
Yeah, I think it's different more than anything. We have 7 new players with 4 true freshmen, 2 redshirt freshmen, and then a 6-year grad transfer. And so they've been in games before, they've been in those situations, but not at Purdue. And so I think it's always good to get that experience and be able to play in front of crowds in an exhibition game to help them when the season starts next week.
You've said over and over again about how much you like Braden and Fletcher, but their experience has to catch
Right.
up to their ability.
Right.
How much trepidation do you have about them from an experience perspective that's showing up?
Well, they just need to play.
Or are they so advanced that it's not
No,
a big
they just
deal?
need to play. They just need to get out there and have experiences and face different people that are going to give them, different problems. I think when you see different styles, it gives everybody different problems, and you got to be able to adjust to that. So hopefully through scouting, we can help them with that. But both of them are, sure of themselves and competitive, and it's a good place to start.
Have you finalized your starting lineup yet, or are you still kind of playing?
We'll start the same lineup that we started the other day. So
And-
it's nothing like, and I told him after the game, it's nothing that's concrete. Obviously, I feel that that group of guys, you could have went a couple of different directions, but that group of guys, Ethan Morton is somebody that probably should have got a couple more opportunities last year. especially when Jaden Ivey went down, and he didn't, because we wanted to stay at the rotation, and I wanted to see Brandon get going, because he had struggled coming off the bench, so we started in that one game. But I think he can really give us some intangibles, his ability to defend, his ability to pass, and but no, the guards they just mentioned, Braden and Fletcher have really played well, done some good things. You could start any of those guys on the front line; they're all good players. Zach started and Mason being with him, kind of like, who's the best match for Zach, and that's what you do a lot when you have a really good player or two really good scorers together. You try to get the people around them that's going to raise their value to the best of your ability, and but there's nothing concrete about it. Like, what I mean? It's not one of those things where this is my starting lineup, this is where we're going. Those guys really decide that. Sometimes your five best guys aren't always together. It's kind of how you feel things mesh. But we'll see as time goes.
So do you feel that you kind of built this starting lineup around Edie, kind of like what you had just mentioned, but I wanted to be clear that you are kind of working this lineup around
Sure, yeah.
Edie?
I mean, you always, whether it's Jaden Ivey or Carson Edwards or Caleb Swanigan, and like when there's a close call somewhere. Now, if people just clearly beat people out, they're going to start no matter who's with them. So it's just not it's more of a part than it is a whole. But the people that can feed the post, the people that can. The one thing about when you have some of that size is you want to get into that bonus, and if you don't have people that can beat people off the bounce, and you can't get the ball driving, to the paint as much as you would like, you got to throw the ball inside. You have to get to the free throw line. You have to get layups. We missed a lot of layups the other day, but we made our free throws. So you're hoping to get that combination.
How did you hold up against the press?
It was fine. They did a 2-2-1 zone press, 1-2-2 zone press. They mixed it up a little bit. He had just put it in that week, so they did a good job with it.
Have you made your redshirt decisions yet, or?
No, I always wait until I have with
Will?
with Wilberg, so because obviously the injury, and that's so he's definitely going to redshirt. But we'll wait to play this game before we sit down as a staff.
How long is Will out?
They said 4 to 6 weeks on the surgery. So after the surgery,
How do you hurt?
I have no idea. I'm on top of things. He did it in practice, and I didn't see it, so I don't know exactly how it happened. I could have went back and watched. I didn't.
Last year's team had a little bit of a slow start in the exhibition game. Is that something you've discussed with this team, just getting out in front of the fans and getting out to more of a?
I don't remember that. How you remember that? No, I don't think 40 games ago there's going to be any connection to a slow start or a fast start or things like that. But I think you see some nerves. That's what you see. You see some guys that get out there and just want to do so well. But we'll see. It's part of it. It's part of growing through it. It actually helps you.
Purdue tends to be a pretty common name in the AP Top 25 polls, and I'm sure as a team you don't tend to want to pay attention to those things.
Yes.
This year they're not present for the preseason.
Right.
Do you think that could be a good thing for this team to not have the pressure?
No, I don't think, pressure is something you feel when you're not prepared. So, that's not, anything for me to really work about. I think it's one of the dumbest things in the world that you rank people before they play. I think that's stupid. And I'm one of the people that's been voting for 15 years, so I've been called stupid before, so I can go right in that bucket. But yeah, it makes no sense to me. And then where you started in the rankings, so you started 8 and I started 27, and we play 8 games and we're both 8-0. He's probably second in the country and I'm probably 13, and we did the same things. So they should wait about 5-6 weeks, but they're just trying to kind of garner interest and get the season going. So I understand that.
Talking about depth in your front court, obviously last year Zach Edey kind of split time with Travion. This year, when he needs a break or he's in foul trouble, who do you think is going to be that next big man in who's grabbing rebounds and working out loud?
Yeah, Caleb first, Trey Kaufman-Renn, Mason Gillis, Zach. I think those 4 guys on our front line. So if Zach, it just kind of depends on matchups, like who comes in. And, but all those guys are all conference level, players. So they're all really good players.
And then right now, do you think there's kind of more questions and missing puzzle pieces in your front court or back court?
It's a good question. I think it's both. I think you just kind of wait and see. organically see like who plays well and who plays well together. Other day I didn't like having 5 people and then other 5 guys, but I was playing 11 people. I didn't know how to process it any other way. I knew if I subbed in and just kind of did it like I do in a regular game, then somebody was going to get short minutes, and I didn't want to do that. So I wanted to make sure everybody got 20 minutes. Then the other 2 guys split time, Cam and Brian, and they both played 10 minutes. So it's really hard to play 11 people. So.
Is Waddell in a position where he can be a rotational guy for you? I know that he got set back there again.
Yeah, you know, still trying to get from a physical standpoint to get healthy. He's in practice, but he's not in everything all the time. But he's trying, he's pushing. The sprained ankle setting back a little bit, and when you have something as severe as he does, it's the confidence and feeling good about it and being able to make the same plays and do things subconsciously. When you're consciously thinking about it, it's really hard. But no, we're just gonna kind of keep pushing through it and listening to him, how he feels, and then go from there.
I believe the team announced that this year the players would have patches on their jerseys to remember Caleb Swan again. Just wanted to get your reaction to that, just being able to
I
remember
think
what he meant to the program.
Yeah, obviously he was meant a great deal to our program. Super person and very hardworking, and really set the standard for us in terms of how much time he put in to be successful. But no, I think it's great that we're going to have his number 50 on our jerseys this year honoring him. Cool.
Thanks.